Hello and welcome back to your theory lessons. This is topic 6, I think, in your books, the grouping of notes in compound time. I've told you before, I'm super nervous about you doing this section because you need to really have razor sharp focus as you're thinking and considering what it means for something to be in compound time. So the chapter starts with four tips, 4 new rules for you to remember. Rule number 1, when it comes to grouping in compound time, is a note for a full bar in compound time is written as follows. For 6/8, we have 6 quavers, which we know, and they're written as a dotted minim. That makes sense. In 9/8, we combine the first two together. That's 1 dotted crotchet, 2 dotted crotchets. We combine them into one and we tie them to the third one. And then in 12/8 we've got our dotted semi-brief. Please note, for rests, we're going to get to rests eventually. It doesn't matter what the time signature is for rests. If you have a full bar of rest at any time, it is always a semi-brief rest. Please remember that. That is a helpful tip. Okay, rule number 2 is each beat is written as a dotted crotchet. That's the whole point of compound time. Rule number 3 is the notes can be divided into long and then short, or into short long. This is all put together like that. So when you're doing your work and you're a bit confused, you can't see the rhythm, come back to this page and see if you can figure out what they mean. Number 4, shorter notes are beamed into 3s. Oh, it's compound time. That should be obvious to you by now, I hope, to show the division of the beats. And that includes when it comes down to semi-quavers. There are 6 semi-quavers there, and if you took it to the quaver level, 6 semi-quavers equals 3 quavers. It's being grouped in 3s. Here, if you look at this is still a group of 3. There's 1 quaver, that's your second quaver, that's your third quaver. Groups of 3. Okay, let's do 2 examples together before I let you loose on page 27. Okay, let's have a look here. Question 1 says, rewrite each of the following rhythms with the notes correctly grouped. You may circle the notes to form the beats before you begin. I love circling. I believe in circling. I'll circle my first 3 and my second 3. Remember, this is compound duple time, so I should have 2 beats per bar. So let's find my next 1, 2 and a half, and then 1, half, and 3. And then here I've got 1 beat of 3 and then 1 beat of 3. Really quickly, I'm going to see. These notes are tied. So it's actually just 1 long note, dotted crotchet. And now my second grouping, let's see. I'll join them all together. This is a dotted and that's a semi-quaver. Here I've got my 3. If you've circled your beats, students, you won't have a problem. If you haven't circled them, you might be tempted to join things that are not supposed to be joined. Here I've got 2 semi-quavers in the middle. That's how you draw that. And then my bar line. Now I've got another tied note. 2 quavers tied is a crotchet. And then I've got a quaver on its own. And then I've got a crotchet tied to a quaver, which is a dotted crotchet. And there's my whole rhythm. That was exercise B. So you have A to do. Good luck. Let's look at B for number 2 as well. And you've got several examples here. And I'm just hoping that you will keep your minds, not lose them while you do this. The best thing you can do for yourself is circle the beats. So let's go. I have 12, 8. That is compound quadruple. So I should have 4 beats in each bar here. Let's have a look. Quaver, 2 semiquavers, quaver. That makes 3. Quaver, quaver, quaver. That makes 3. Quaver, 2 semiquavers, quaver. That makes 3. And there's a note that's worth 3. So I think I've got my first bar. I shall draw in all the requisite things. Key signature, time signature. Now, let's see what I do here. I know that these 4 notes are going to be in one. It's a C, and it's a quaver and a semiquaver. So I know that one note that fits that is a dotted quaver. Then I've got my E flat semiquaver and then my D quaver. I'm going to make a diagonal line for my stem. And then, there we go. I think I've got it. These 2 notes are that note. That one is that, and that one's that, and they're all beamed together. Here I've got 2 quavers tied, which we know is a crotchet. And then I've got a quaver on its own. And then I've got this next bit. It looks like a dotted quaver again with the semiquaver, which is and then a quaver on its own. Diagonal line again. And my semiquaver move. And then middle C and a dot and a line. That is the correct grouping. When it's grouped correctly, I can still see 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 4 beats. Okay? It is so important to do the step of circling the beats or making sure you know which go with which. It might be very tempting, for example, when you see this little note on its own to somehow join it to the next beat. If you haven't circled the beats, you might be tempted to do things like that. The other examples are, some are easier than this one and some are harder. But remember, in threes, that is compound time. If you have a note that is a beat that is not grouped in threes, it cannot be right. I wish you well. I wish you good luck with this work. I will make the assignment and you will post it as usual. I'll give you a week to complete this. Please ask questions and please be very, very thoughtful as you do these 2 pages of work.